And hello, hi everybody. We're within kind of the horizon area of this little look at Resident Evil 2 Classic. So, yeah, last we left off, if I remember right from here, we had just finished Claire's A scenario, and we're now getting to start. Oh my god. We are now getting started on Leon B. I'm not going to be doing it all in one go. You know, it's probably going to end up being just 2 parts, as usual with a lot of the streams I've been doing this. So, yeah, I imagine the B scenario will have some interesting stuff in terms of differences between his A scenario. I don't know what it... Oh, God. I hate this hot weather. I do not know when Mr. X will end up showing up versus how he showed up in Claire's part. But I imagine there will be some broken walls and he'll Kool-Aid man his way through things. So, yeah. I hope you're all doing okay. I'm not going to lie, I had a bit of a rough week and this weather has not been helping. Hi, Sprays. Hello. How are you doing on this fine day? I am groggy, and it's hot as balls outside, and that has not been helping me. We are currently in the Leon B side of things. We're just about to start it. Oh, God. Like, this is... God damn it. This is part of the reason why I hate summer. It's hot all the fucking time, and the warm weather causes my brain to just start to slow down and go like, oh, it's warm, time for naps. Time for your hibernation cycle, like some kind of weird reverse bear. And I'm like, no, I don't want a reverse hibernation cycle. Not right now. But yeah, how are you doing? Did you get anything good on the summer Steam sale? Did you hear about the bullshit that PlayStation's doing about how they're not wanting to manufacture physical discs anymore? Leon B finished the playthrough this on Danger. I'm not brave enough for Danger. We're just gonna keep with normal.
In the midst of the T-virus outbreak in Raccoon City, Claire Redfield succeeded in escaping from the city, along with one of the only other survivors, a young girl named Sherry. However, behind their escape was the lone survivor of the Raccoon City Police Department, Leon S. Kennedy.
Leave PlayStation soon, one on digital, have PC. Yep. It's like, at this point, if consoles are just trying to essentially, god damn it, I'm tired. Essentially be all digital platforms that have their exclusives, people will just go to PC anyway for all this shit. And like, not to, like, you know, I'll explain after the cutscene's all the same. Like, not to say like, oh, Nintendo's doing perfect in a lot of things. They're definitely not. But let's face it, in the console game market, they are doing at least a bit better than Microsoft and PlayStation are. Microsoft are buying up and laying off studios and shutting studios down left and right. PlayStation's doing this shit and also not letting their games get put on PC, even though that's literally free money. Yeah, if you want to be a PC, then beat my PC. It's 10 years old and still more powerful than a PS5. My PC I bought like about a year ago, I think, and it's been serving me really nicely. Like, I had a PC back, my first pre-built PC I had was one that was like fine for the games that I needed it for, but you know, as games get more costly and resource intensive, I would definitely just wanted something a bit stronger. And also something that rendered videos faster when editing, and this thing has been a wonderful beast. Bullshit that zombie couldn't die, and bullshit that zombie died in 1 bullet. But yeah, that was dumb news. And what makes me very glad is that literally so many social media accounts are making fun of PlayStation for that decision. Like, I think it was Domino's UK that said, sorry guys, we're changing to digital pizzas. And then you've got more like sincere messages about how bullshit this whole notion is from companies like Fangamer and I Am 8-Bit, who, you know, specialize in making physical editions of games that are otherwise all digital. So like physical editions of Crow Country, Shovel Knight, Citizen Sleeper. And they just go like, yeah, we're disappointed by this because physical media matters a lot. Because this means like a lot of product is just not gonna, like the circulation of a lot of stuff's fucked now because of this decision. So by 2028, we really gotta just, hopefully we can let PlayStation know that this is a fuck up. Domino's UK said they're going no digital. Donut, Pineapple, and Ham is day one. You're going to be DLC.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a gun inside.
I see. There are a lot of places that were making fun of this decision because it really is boneheaded. Because you think about how PlayStation was one of the ones that revolutionized the use of CDs for games for the better sound quality and you know, all the other benefits that having CDs did for games. Now, unfortunately, nowadays, when it comes to a lot of games and how they are in terms of what they are, most of the time games now are just like an allowance to get a download as opposed to having the game on the disc, you know, like in the PS2 and GameCube era of gaming. Play as no, yeah, erase the no and you essentially have PlayStation Now. Because, let's face it, PlayStation's not exactly been a juggernaut of releasing a bunch of games. In fact, the only reason why I have even a PS5 to buy games on is because it's been just what I'm used to for the most part, and also, like, sometimes the exclusives that release on that console specifically are ones that I'm genuinely interested in, and most of the time they tend to get the most exclusives because sometimes games will release early exclusively on that platform. Why the fuck can I even go? There we go. Yeah, it's just really dumb. It's dumb and I hate it, and I, like, if we've learned anything about gaming and other kinds of dumb corpo bullshit over the past few years, hell, even the past few months, is that sometimes if you bully a corporation long enough regarding their dumb decisions, it can make them actually learn from their mistakes. I remember when the PS3 store, oh shit. I remember when the PS3 store was slated to shut down, and people were like, no, don't do that, because there's so many games that are on the PlayStation 3 store that just aren't available on your PS4 one. And apparently now they're still just going to go ahead and shut that down anyway, along with the PS Vita store. They do most gamers have years. They do know most gamers have years worth of backlog games. If anything, I need to get my PS1 back out. Yeah, I want to get a PS2 at some point, just so I have that available to play some of the games that I've got and want to get if I decide to go more retro game shopping. That is if I can even afford that, because unfortunately, a lot of those games are expensive. I was lucky to run across Dragon Quest VIII when I did. But, yeah, like, everybody's just saying emulation's kind of the king right now as far as preservation is concerned, because companies don't see the profit in proper preservation of things. I remember there was like some kind of video game storage thing, or video game like Emporium, something like that, that made this, that said the thing of like, yeah, it's really dumb that PlayStation's doing this because it's gonna make like preservation of important potential gaming landscapes difficult, because without physical media that can be at least stored properly and kept safe, you're gonna end up with games just not being available to people to play anymore. and can be just taken away, like that one time when a bunch of movies that people bought on the PlayStation Store just got taken off their consoles. It's like, we don't own our games anymore. It's bullshit. It's so stupid.
Get over here! Hurry! I can't set her down. I'll drop you a rope ladder. Grab onto it. Come on, just a little more.
Like, I myself have a backlog. There's some games that I have yet to even play. There's some that I restarted from scratch because I unfortunately encountered a guide game situation with some of the ones I was interested in. It's just, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks and I hate it. So, fair to say, this will absolutely tank, well, it's gonna tank a lot of people's want on ever investing in a PlayStation. So I need to start the Dragon Quest games, the Final Fantasy, the Fallout, Elden Ring, and by the time I've done, new games will be out. Yeah, we'll have other ways to access. Yeah. Also, I didn't know you wanted to start Dragon Quest. Yeah, I mean, this is probably where I'm probably gonna start going more on PC for that. Hell, I have a Switch too. Maybe I just use that as one of my console machines now. Because from what I hear, the specs on the Switch 2 are actually pretty damn decent, so who knows? Maybe I start investing more on games to play on Switch 2. Or just keep my PS5 as my console thing. Because, alright, the consoles that I own are a Switch 2, and my PC for pretty much all of my console gaming. I do have a Game Boy Advance and a Wii, but the Wii I don't even know is playable because that thing is probably caked with a fuck ton of dust. And the Game Boy Advance, I just don't really touch that often. And a DS. I have a Nintendo DS and a Nintendo 2DS XL as well. And I know there are people that have like all sorts of retro consoles from all sorts of eras, but I just haven't, like, I don't have all that because unfortunately those things can be costly. It's in the backlog. I have a spreadsheet of games to play over. Jesus Christ. Actually, I myself have not so much a backlog. Like, I've got games I want to play. I do have a backlog, but it's not that extensive. The extensive game-related thing that I've got is a really, really high wish list. My wish list of games that I want to play just on my Steam alone is ludicrous. I have a massive Steam wish list of probably like 680 something games. Oh dear God. Yeah, I've got a lot of games on that even. Like, I don't even remember most of the games that I've already got on there because I've just been wishlist reads like a novel. Yep. Like, I've just been I browse a lot. That's my thing. I browse a lot, and then whenever a trailer or something looks really cool to me, I'm like, oh, that looks neat. Wishlist. Because wishlisting does genuinely support developers. Oh, right, because he doesn't have the hairpin, Leon can't pick locks. He's not a Thieves Guild member, so he can't pick locks. He's not a master of unlocking. Alright, so we're just gonna go down this regular way. Need to get around a current safety act for a lot, sadly. Yeah. Like, it really is awful that they just decide on this idea, and the most that I can really hope for is just that they see this backlash and, you know, change their tune on that idea. Because I'm like, who the fuck signed off on that? Who the fuck thought this was the bright idea that would be the next move for their company that would... And you know what? Like, they probably wanted to play it off as some kind of cost-saving measure, but producing CDs are cheap, so it strikes the same kind of chord as cutting employees to, you know, save money. The shotgun's just here? Huh. Wow. All right. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah. Summer Steam sale. Sprays, you get anything good for that? I don't get it. I'm tech savvy, so I get around the Safety Act. Anyone younger than me will do it quicker. Yeah. Oh, right. Electronically locked. Yeah, sorry if I sound a bit out of it. This heat has been killing me, and work's been a bit stressful, so I've been dealing with kind of gradual headaches that have been persisting me most of my week. Like, it's not bad, it's just annoying, and it's more of a summer problem because genuinely it's bad outside, and it's going to get worse over the weekend. Like, really high. I got the Resi games from sale, sadly short on cash lately. Pick up anything good? I picked up, I talked about this a little bit ago, I got a survival horror, well, yeah, survival horror RPG called Look Outside. I hear a lot of really good things about that one. I got a psychological horror game called Mole, which, if you know the game Mouthwashing, it's kind of in the same energy as that. Low poly art style. You're in sort of a cramped industrial type environment, and you're trying to figure out your way forward, and also there's freaky shit going on with the main character's head. Let's see what else is there. There's a lot. I got like 5 games. There's Possessors, which is the latest game from Heart Machine, and that was like $3, so I thought, why not? Why not go ahead for it? Because I want to see if they have potentially gone up in terms of their best foot forward, or even just some kind of good foot forward after the disaster that was Hyperlight Breaker. Look Outside, Mole, Possessors. What else did I get? Hold on, let me check it actually. So, Look Outside, Mole. Where's my library? There it is. Look Outside, Mole, Possessors. God, my library's big. Saying why not in sales is why I'm poor. Well, I say why not when it comes to games that are like, I'm interested in them, but I didn't want to pay full price, so I pay like $5 in a sale. That's my why not. Or if I'm at Aldi or something and I see a new granola flavor that I want to throw in with some yogurt, I'm like, sure, why not? Constance, that's what it was. Constance, which is like a Metroidvania, and Norco, which is a narrative game that takes place in Louisiana that has some of the most gorgeous looking pixel art I've ever seen. So yeah, Norco, Constance, Possessors, Look Outside, and Mole. There were a lot of others. That I had my eye on, but I limited myself to $40 for my budget, so I just kept it to that. I did not want to, you know, overdo it, especially considering the price of gas nowadays and having to also budget for a lot of other things. Oh, come on, I lured you over here to avoid it. Motherfucker. Son of a bitch. I lured them over there so I didn't have that happen. Or so I wouldn't have that happen, rather. Alright. Oh, you bitch. You know, truth be told, I actually prefer Claire kicking the heads off. So, yeah, that was my summer Steam sale stuff. I didn't even look on PlayStation because, frankly, Steam sales are way more bang for your buck versus most of the console sales you get. In fact, most of the time whenever I buy stuff on consoles, it's usually because my folks gave me a gift card. Leon B is the hardest scenario I've gathered. So I'm definitely going to try and play a bit better for this one. It's just going to be tough because my brain is in like summer haze mode where my head is just kind of like it's like my frontal part of my head wants me to go take a nap, but because I don't really do naps, I'm like Computer, show me Captain America's hog. Oh yeah, that's a bit of news today. Y'all see, I don't play Marvel Rivals. In no capacity am I interested in Marvel Rivals. Did y'all see, though, that apparently, I don't know if this will get changed, but they gave Captain America a swimsuit outfit that leaves really little to the imagination, and I'm like, oh my god. That's the issue I'm having at the moment. Yeah, my own streams this month, yeah. Like, I actually ended up taking Tuesday off because I had such a bad headache. I had such a bad migraine that I just I didn't feel like it in any way whatsoever. I was so just burned both ends on this candle, you know? But yeah, that was an interesting thing I saw, was just, got him up, all good. We're just gonna, I think I have to go, like, behind where those green herbs are. I gotta store a lot of healing items, too, since if we are going through the hardest scenario, then I gotta really prep all of my healing items and shit. Alright, first things first. Let's put away the ink ribbons. I think the small key can be used in the first floor down here, where the officer's seating area is. Go through the fucking door. Yeah, this is usually me in the summer where I'm just kind of in a haze and I'm just tired because I work full time, so that's the other side of it. I work full time, so my brain is just like, oh, you're home from work and now your legs can finally not be tense, and then I take off my Red Wing boots and I'm like, oh, now the soreness in your feet is starting to crop up. And I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. Yay, sore feet. Alright, combine. Alright, ad break in 5 minutes, though. Heads up. Alright. And this is the, what, spade key? Yeah. Interesting. There we go. One shot. And then, what do I gain out of... What was it? 2, 3, 4, 6? No. It was 2 something. Or was it 2, 4, 4, 6? Two, 2, 3, 6. Okay, so I was right in the 3, 6. I was like, it was 2, 2 something. Or it was 2 something. I knew 6 was the last number and 2 was the first. Ooh. Oh. I will take that map, though. Alright, we're going to circle back to the save room, because I need space to also grab that valve and use that on the helicopter. And then store it for when we're going into the sewers later. Because I think that is literally the only other area in the game we ever use that valve handle is just in the sewers. But yeah, let's see. Anything else gaming related? I know Microsoft also shut down a bunch of other studios, which is like, or at the very least is looking to shut down some studios. Like they're apparently they're side-eyeing Arcane Studios, the developer of that 2017 Prey game that people really liked, the studio that's making that Blade game. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like that game's not even out yet. Like that's happening to the Senua devs, I think, right? It's just like, why? Like genuinely, what the fuck? Microsoft just cannot keep its shit together with the studios that it buys up to make stuff for them. It's bullshit. All right. Now we go back, grab the shotgun shells, grab the valve handle, come up, use the valve handle on the helicopter, and then we'll put the valve handle back and see where we progress from there. Because I think, like... Because going through this area... I think the only spade key... I think there are some spade rooms around here. But I guess we'll see those after our ad breaks. So, we're going to go into 3 minutes of ads with an hour of no pre-rolls after. So be sure to hydrate, stretch, do whatever you need to do, and we will be right back. And we're back. Thank you for your patience. All right. So, something else that I actually remembered. So, I mentioned it a bit ago, but I recently had cobbled together a cosplay for Orpheus from Hades Town. Excuse me, hiccup. And initially I was really excited because I'm like, oh shit, the shirt and the suspenders are here. I've already got pants that match really well and boots. So I'm getting everything together. But the one thing that I was missing was a prop flower. The flower that's usually in the promotional material of Hades Town and is the one that is held by Orpheus when he sings Wait For Me. And I was like, okay, I need to track down what flower this is. Turns out it's a carnation. Sorry, I have a customer. All good. I'm just talking about the Hades Town costume I cobbled together for the screening of the Pro Cut that's happening in July. So I cobbled this thing together, and I'm like, where the fuck is this flower? Because I got an artificial carnation. I don't want to deal with a live one. Because then I could reuse it for other times I would want to dress as Orpheus. So I wait for the flower to arrive, and it said it arrived, but for some reason, it's not at my apartment. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And thankfully, just today, the flower has showed up. I have the flower now, so now my Orpheus costume for the screening of Hades Town is complete. and I'll be able to dress nicely as we all get to enjoy this musical. It was just, like, what I think happened was just that maybe the delivery person mistook my address for someone else's within the same kind of area. So, yeah, but thankfully I got it, and I'm happy with it. It looks fine, and it will serve the purposes perfectly. I always loved cosplay, but was always trying to get into it. The best advice that I have about cosplay is don't go too complicated immediately. Pick a character that you know that you like and want to dress up as, and keep it as simple as possible. I don't know why Idiot got taken by Automod. I'm sorry. Also an idiot with no artistic vision. Dude, buying cosplays is literally no problem. Like, buying cosplays, there's no shame in that either. Like, literally every cosplay that I've ever worn is... Every cosplay I've worn since I was 16 is something that I or my folks bought online. Because my folks were really cool about me doing it, because I've been going to conventions ever since I was a teenager, so... Yeah, like, don't worry even about having to assemble your own, because the other problem is... Oh, I must have thought I was calling you... No. Like, trust me, there are a lot of resources that are out nowadays that... There are a lot of resources out there nowadays that lets you have far better access to making your own cosplay if that's the angle you want to go. For instance, Etsy may have a lot of issues. It definitely does. But something that Etsy's got in terms of some storefronts that you can look at is buying up cosplay sewing patterns. Or if you have a 3D printer, 3D print files that you can buy from the seller to then assemble your prop or sew your embroidery pattern onto your outfit that you may want to do. For instance, I someday would love to cosplay as D from Vampire Hunter D. Because despite my misgivings regarding how the light novels are written, I still find the characters and setting fascinating, but I don't know where the fuck I could end up finding a cosplay on there to buy. So I would probably want to commission a costume. But if I wanted to, say, I don't know, assemble the longsword that D uses, I could just find 3D print files and then, have myself print it out. I don't have a 3D printer, but I'm saying if you do. And actually, there was a presentation that I sat in on cheaper cosplays, like ways to do cosplay cheaply. And it was this pro cosplayer that hosted it. They were wonderful. And they provided a lot of great ideas and resources in terms of how you can cosplay on the cheap. And one idea that was present, which I think is probably more of a if you're in America deal. I do not know if other countries may have similar style stores, but look for stuff that may have costuming that's after Halloween. And they said Halloween specifically because we have something like Spirit Halloween here, where it's just during the season, it's just blowouts of costuming stuff that becomes easy pickings for cheap once that particular holiday is over, and then you just pick up the stuff you need, and then you just kind of MacGyver it into something else that you want to make for a costume. Or if you want to also do something on a cheaper end, you could thrift. You could literally thrift clothing and potentially resize it if you know how to sew. And learning how to sew, like, you get a sewing machine and you can look up some tutorials online, whether you want to do the whole hand and needle thread or if you want to use a machine. I literally learned how to sew a hole back into my flannel jacket, sew a hole closed to my flannel jacket online. Like, there's so many online resources that can help you cosplay a lot more easily. And in the end, if you decide to just buy a costume, literally no shame in that whatsoever. As I said, I have bought every costume that I've used since I was a teenager. I or my parents. And some of the cosplays I've gotten some genuinely great compliments on, and I've rocked some of those, I would dare say. Master problem with the UK is we just don't do Halloween very well. Yeah. I hear that is the deal when it comes to the UK, other areas in Europe and Australia, where they don't really do Halloween the same way we do it here. So, believe me, I get it. Hello. I only have 2 shotgun rounds, so it looks like I just run past you. Maybe? There we go. It's Sexy Exy. Where's his Speedo? And why aren't you in uniform? Alright, in we go. Gonna drop this stupid valve off. But yeah, so cosplaying, I would recommend you look up some websites that can ship to your country. I believe Easy Cosplay has that. I think they ship worldwide. And eBay's also your friend. I have a mod for the remake that gives him a Speedo. Yep. We're gonna top off our health real quick. There we go. Let's see, so there... Okay, so, like, go affordable and do not feel ashamed about buying your costumes. At all. Actually, one costume that I bought that people really liked whenever I would go to cons with it was actually my Nero cosplay from Devil May Cry 5. Like, that was a cosplay that I probably got the most photos in ever in my 10 plus years of going to conventions. Like, I've been going to these things for a long time, and I've been in cosplays mostly of a lot of characters that I just tend to really like. And yeah, Nero was my most popular. The other thing is, now I don't know how much of an issue this might be for you. It was more so for me. I have the hardest time ever finding cosplays of characters that I want to do, because I'm the type of guy that tends to like some characters that aren't always the super popular ones. So whenever I want to look for a costume that is on the more pre-made side, because I just don't have the resources or the money to buy up a bunch of sewing materials and make it myself, I'm kind of oh, fuck. Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here. Anyhow, cheaper costumes. Literally the one that is the most, like, cheaply thrown together for me was my Superboy cosplay, because that's like a black Superman t-shirt, some fairly dark blue jeans, and combat boots. That's it. Like, my hair is not the same color, and it's definitely not the same length, but, you know, if you get the essence down, that's not a problem. Like, I'm the same. A lot of characters are hated, I love. Like, I wouldn't say I tend to like characters that people hate. I tend to like characters that just don't tend to get a lot of fanfare. Like, in a world where we have so many people that like, Crom, if I were to go Fire Emblem, for instance, in a world where we have people just going out the ass cosplaying Edelgard, Byleth, Crom, Robin, Tharja, Dimitri, like all of the popular ones. I'm the guy off to the side going, I want to cosplay as Joshua from Sacred Stones, or Ike from Path of Radiance. Well, Path of Radiance is popular, but it's not as popular as the other current entries. Or if I wanted to, like, what's another franchise that has something like that for me? I don't know. Like, that's the general gist, though, is that games and characters that I just don't tend to see a whole lot of cosplays of, I want to cosplay. I'm looking at my shelf and I'm trying to think of other characters I want to do. Looking at my DVD shelf. Or even just in general series that don't tend to get a lot of love on that front. Bacano, for instance, one of my favorite anime of all time, doesn't tend to get a lot of, like, it has a very passionate fan base, but it's not something that you see a lot of characters cosplay from. I'd probably want to cosplay as Claire, or Lad Russo. Oh, motherfucker. There we go. And actually, aside from the Orpheus costume, I did also cobble together a costume of Partitio from Octopath Traveler 2, because I want to have that as a walking around costume. Because that's the other thing you should consider. Find a costume that you know you're going to be comfortable walking around in during the day. Give you liquor there? That's bull, that is. Yeah, that's pretty bullshit. Oh, wait, and I just burned my two only shotgun rounds. Oh, God. I gotta go through that and get some more of those from the safe. I forgot about the safe. Actually, doing Resident Evil 4 Leon, he would be a perfect first costume. I had two in there. Oh. Well. No, you... Wait, no, I didn't save for a while. No, screw that. RE4 Leon is close to my normal clothes. Yeah, like, get something that's close to normal clothes, so that way you don't have to worry about, being dressed in really uncomfortable material. Because let's face it, a lot of costumes are made to look as accurate to the character as possible, but unfortunately, that character accuracy also lends to being in very, very uncomfortable outfits. And I have been on that side of the deal. I've had my fair share of being in cosplays that have left me very sweaty, and the material itself would just peel off after 2 days because it was just shit material to begin with because it was $50. Like that's the other thing you ought to consider is, like, if you're gonna buy one or commission one, figure out your budget. Oh, also something to consider. If you're gonna cosplay a character that's got weapons, find one of the weapons in their repertoire that would not be a nightmare to carry around all the time. And also, make sure it is foam or plastic or something, because they have weapon checks booths. They have weapon checking booths at cons, and if something might be considered too dangerous for you or others, they will want that to be either off the premises or they'll have to cover it or something. Never understand my issue with it. Never nail polish daily. Honestly, if it's the confidence thing, I say again, it's something to get used to. But I I get it. I do. I was a bit nervous whenever I would be jumping out of my comfort zone for some cosplays I did. So not my replica, all metal. Yeah, probably not that. For instance, I actually have a replica of Nero's Blue Rose in my room right now. I turn to my right where my art wall is, and it's right there. That is perfect for walking around in cosplay, because while the Red Queen is fucking sick, I don't want to carry around a giant foam sword. I want, having Nero's Blue Rose gun is an easy enough cosplay, because it's literally, I just hold the gun up, and then I just pose a little bit. Or if I want to do a non-gun pose, I just pick one of Nero's other taunts where he throws his hood up, does one of his other taunts. Because, the other thing to consider is, since I've grown my hair out, there is not a chance in hell that I'm going to actually fit a wig on my head. So, I've just given up on ever really trying to match a character's hair. Alright, so we got through all that. This key won't work anywhere besides the other wing that I'm in. Where the fuck is this key card? Because it's all electronically locked, but I need a key card for it. M9 pistol from RE1, I need to get it customized, but it really cannot leave the house. Yeah, you can't have those around at cons. Even metal replicas that don't fire would probably raise some eyebrows. I have something that matches, to an extent, the Red 9, I think it's called, from Resident Evil 4, but it's made out of wood. So because of that, it likely could pass. But the real test on to see if it'll pass is if it has an orange tip on it. If it's got an orange tip, if it's got an orange tip on it, be it made of plastic or what have you, that at least can prove that, hey, it's safe. So, yeah. And plus, there are a million other... Or, get a foam replica of Leon's knife. There you go. Have Leon's knife available as a prop for you to use for costuming. There are likely a whole bunch of places on eBay and Etsy where you could definitely get a replica of Leon's knife, no problem. So, there's a lot of resources out there. Locked from the inside. Mine both fire metal BBs. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I still wouldn't risk that. Where the fuck do I find that card key? Because literally most of the other doors are blocked. Wait, no, there's still the door with the... There's still that hallway with the liquors that are out there. Alright, so we move past this way. I mean, I myself have an array... Ironically, replica knives are harder to get for me than the guns. Could be a me problem, though. Interesting, considering all the memes that I tend to hear about the UK. I mean, I'm certain that if you at least find some 3D print files, or even if you just get blocks of foam and then a replication guide online, you wouldn't have as much of an issue. Just foam, paint, finish. I'm simplifying it a lot, obviously, but I just would recommend people try it at least once. And if you don't care for it because, you have to be stopped every 5 minutes, oh, you want a real easy one, it's very easy, replicas are a pain. Yeah. So yeah, that's my deal. I just enjoy it because I actually get to enjoy the interactivity that comes with it, because a lot of times whenever I've been stopped by people for, when I've been stopped by people that ask after my costumes and ask for pictures, they've been all really nice about it, and sometimes we even just get to have nice conversations afterwards. For instance, last year, I believe. Yeah, last year I was at a convention, dressed as Nero, but didn't have the hair, because my hair wasn't long, but it was definitely not a style that would let me fit a wig on my head. Oh no, sprays. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jesus, yeah, like, that's the other thing. Cons can be a very rough place depending on where you tend to go and who you tend to go with. It's why when I go to cons, I actually prefer to go by myself. Because I've heard very mixed experiences regarding groups. Like, I myself have mixed experiences going with people. Most of the time the groups have been good. We've been just shooting off and doing our own thing. But then there was this one instance, just drink a lot and do other stuff. Oh god, I'm so sorry. There we go. Yeah, so, I mean, entirely up to you. Like, I'm just giving my experiences as far as how I've experienced cons before. Oh, okay, so it was here. Oh, Jesus. I can see now why this may be the hardest scenario in the game. One story that actually sticks out to me for a not so positive group con experience was, this was like shortly after I started college, and it was me and the college anime club, where we went to this one con, and we were just there for the weekend doing our thing, and the unfortunate thing was we never really figured out the sleeping arrangements. At least not very well. And to put it succinctly, I ended up sleeping on the floor and using my Crollo Lucifer from Hunter x Hunter cosplay jacket as a makeshift blanket. So, fair to say, not a very nice experience for that. And while it is expensive to go to cons by yourself, I'm willing to eat the cost, honestly, because I just haven't, like, most of the other experience I've had were just okay. Not the best sleep then? No, not the best sleep at all. Straight up, there were straight up points in that night where I had to go down, there was one point in the night where I had to go down to the hotel's pool that had a hot tub and jacuzzi setting to dip my ankles in it because I could feel my heartbeat in my ankles from how sore they were. I was miserable. I was not having a good time. And then some shit came up about that convention's, president, leader, and let's just say it made me very glad that I don't live in that area anymore and don't attend that convention anymore. Nowadays, when I go to cons, I'm going more local, with like the one exception being MagFest, which is in January. And people like MagFest a lot. It happens, like, a lot of people tend to go from all over the world to attend this convention, and I just hear so many good things, and I'm like, man, I'd love to go. I'm actually keeping an eye on the newsletter for whenever passes go live and hotels are available, because I really would like to go to this con. And I've also got a local con I'm planning on going to that got some pretty interesting announcements. Like the cast of Critical Role are going to it. Hayden Christensen, like Anakin, got announced for this con, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, Hayden Christensen? Wow. Like, that's a very, very interesting poll that they got. He'll probably have a line going out like crazy, but hey, I mean, cool. Oh, thank God. Oh my god, I want to go. It's local to like the Midwest of America. I'm not gonna say where specifically. Don't want to dox myself, but oh, you can still attack. Interesting. Really? All right, cool. Hayden Christensen, Critical Role cast, Xander Mobus, who's the announcer for Smash Brothers, as well as the voice of Joker from Persona 5. I also know him as Stock from Radiant Historia because I like me Radiant Historia. Oh, the first 6. I have no particular attachment to Star Wars sprays. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, considering literally everything that revolves around Star Wars regarding the controversies, the extended universe stuff, I've never been a Star Wars guy. Search that body twice. Give me his ammo. Ooh. I didn't know that. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, like... Oh, nice. Awesome. Thank you. I did not know that. Let's see. What else is there? Yeah, basically, cons, I have fun going to them. I can't go to them as frequently as I used to, but I love going to them because it kind of acts as my outing to sort of get out of my own space and just be around people and socialize and get to also meet industry folks. Hidden ammo everywhere. I'm sad to know them all. Hey, I mean, you helped me there. That 15 bullets might save my ass. Like, for instance, last year when I went to the con that I went to, I got to meet Neil Newbon and Jennifer English and Devora Wild, who are 3 of the companions in Baldur's Gate 3. And if you're a Resident Evil fan, Neil Newbon also played Heisenberg in Village. More in here as well, so if you look hard enough. Okay. The Forbidden Rock Salt. Oh wait, I know where there's hidden ammo here. I'm stupid. Hold on. I discovered it in like my Leon A playthrough. There we go. Let's see. Like, in general, there's other just big conventions that I would like to try once, but probably once only. Right now, actually, this weekend, this 4-day weekend, Red Gem's called the Virgin Heart. Not interesting. Nice. Right now, this Independence Day weekend of America, Anime Expo is happening, which means a couple things. One, I have to keep my ear to the ground for any anime announcements that sound really good. Two, that entire convention center is probably going to run out of oxygen. Or if not run out, then be very, very low. And 3, likely to hear a lot of stories out of it, and not a whole lot of positive, potentially. Because, like, Anime Expo is one of those cons that's so nebulously large. Because I think it's the largest anime convention in all of the U.S., if I have my data right. And there's a reason why it's so large. It's like the one where the industry at large announces stuff. It's where Witch Hat Atelier got its announcements. Like, it is huge, and part of me has that kind of FOMO where I'm like, man, fear of missing out. I'd love to go to this massive convention at least once in my life. But the other problem is it's in California in the middle of a hot-ass summer, and I don't think I want to deal with swamp ass in a costume, so I probably wouldn't go dressed up. Like, I see people dressed up in, like, fancy-ass costumes that probably not only are really uncomfortable, potentially, and chafe in awkward places, but would probably be making you get some serious cases of swamp ass. I will say, though, conventions can be fun for the dichotomy of, like, regular people going to these hotels and staying because they may have, like, a busy work weekend, and then you just have a bunch of Naruto or Bleach cosplayers walking around. Or if you're going to, like, a restaurant local to the area, you then encounter, like, someone dressed as one of the Power Rangers slamming a hurricane at like a Louisiana restaurant. Like, just funny stuff like that where you just encounter the dichotomy. My first experience with that was when I went to my very first anime convention in, like, 2013, I think. And I was seeing a Misty cosplayer just squatting down outside of the con center smoking a cigarette, and I'm like she was, oh no, not squatting. She was sitting on the steps of the convention center outside smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, well, that should probably set the tone. Like, that's a tone setter if I've ever seen one. So yeah, but regardless, I love conventions. I love them. They're so fun for me, and they're fun for a lot of people, and it's just something that everybody ought to, I feel like people ought to at least try once to see if it's up your alley. I actually had a conversation about that with some people in a Discord server about their stances on conventions and why they may or may not be comfortable with them in some instances, which I totally was understanding their case, because with the rising costs of everything nowadays, cons are very expensive to attend, depending on if you're going to ones that are, like, massive and nationwide, or smaller and local. Like, regardless, cons are expensive. And I'm not just talking about travel, I mean, like, the merch. Ammo hidden in this room? I'm gonna guess it's behind this statue, because I played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I may have. Yep. I played Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I get hiding things behind 3D objects. But yeah, like, I've spent a lot of money at conventions, and autographs from the voice actors also cost money too. Like, I think it was close to over $100 for me to even get my autograph and picture with Neil Newbon, which I was willing to pay, because when the fuck am I ever gonna encounter Neil Newbon at a con again? Like, that's awesome that I got to even do that. And Jennifer English and Devora Wild were lovely. Jennifer English was super sweet, and Devora Wild, who's the actress that played Lae'zel in Baldur's Gate 3, she was taking notes from people about where in the area we would recommend to go eat. And I think that's really cool that she showed a genuine interest in the area. So yeah, really cool. And I've gotten to have nice conversations with people. I've gotten an autograph from Charles Martinet, the former Mario voice. Like, you get to meet all sorts of cool people, whether they're industry or whether they're, you know, just people going for a fun weekend. Like, I would not trade those experiences for anything. I love going to cons. Now, have I had some bad experiences at conventions? Absolutely. Aside from the sleeping using my jacket as a makeshift blanket, I also had a very unfortunate moment in, funnily enough, the same convention, where, for some reason, ooh, the Magnum. Really? I get it here and not in that bunk room? Huh. I had a very unfortunate moment at that same convention where they horribly mishandled how to do autographs. They just horribly mishandled it. I told the story a long while back, but what happened was this. I was trying to get an autograph from Christina V, who's the actress that, if you're a Miraculous Ladybug person, she played the main character of that series. She was Killua in Hunter x Hunter. I believe she's also Shantae from the Shantae games, if you know those. And she's just a really great voice actress, really cool person. And I was waiting in line for her. And there were a few other voice actresses there as well that were, you know, people were waiting for autographs for. And what happened was, the line of the autographs took so long to go through that, unfortunately, the dealer's room closed by the time that, like, I was within eyesight of the autograph area. So what the con staff had to do was essentially kick us out of the dealer's room and then have us go all the way to a separate part of the convention center after we'd already been standing for a long time to get autographs. And I get my autograph, but...
Hey, wait!
Really? Leon interacts with Sherry in this scenario? Huh. Okay. Oh. I need to put some items away.
Leon!
I'll tell some more story. I'll finish the story after this cutscene.
Yeah. Have you seen a little girl around here?
Yeah, you just missed her. Who is she?
I don't know. But it's too dangerous for her to stay here alone. Leon, I'll go look for her. You go and find us a way out of here.
Of course. But before I forget, here's a radio. That way we can keep in touch if something comes up.
I swear I won't comment on Sherry this stream and ruin the VOD. All good. Thank you for the consideration there. So the story goes, after I had been standing and finally got my autograph, I sit down and once more, because, like, at no point during the line I could sit down and have myself a little break. Because, you know, the line needed to keep moving. I sit down at a table to the side to sort of rest, and once more, I could feel my heartbeat in my feet from how badly they were sore. So, that was just not, yeah. That was not a pleasant experience, and funnily enough, same problem happened at that same convention. Like, that convention was just run like shit. Other unpleasant times at cons, I've just kind of seen, like, some disorganization that's happened, and just general, like, miscommunication and uncertainty about events that were planned, which, again, thankfully has not happened to me super frequently. But I have heard horror stories, though. I have heard some, like, as positive as cons can be. Oh man, have I heard some stories, especially from, like, streamers that I watch or know of who are, like, guests at conventions that tend to really go through some bullshit when it comes to improper staff or fans that act really weird towards them, or, like, the general convention not being very organized enough on handling meet and greets. Like, I'm extremely grateful that, for the most part, my experiences were minuscule, but it's through the grapevine, if I were to really put it succinctly. Like, they can be a mixed bag, but goddamn can they be fun. So, best I can recommend is try to research if there's even, like, a one-day convention you can go to. Just one day. One day where you can just go for, like, a Saturday or something and then you can just have some little fun, see some people dressed up, maybe find some stuff you didn't expect to find. I went to a one-day convention, I think, in 2024? Yeah, 2024. And I was not expecting a lot out of going to this one-day convention. I really, really wasn't. But then I ended up walking away with a pretty damn good drawing of Kiryu from the Yakuza series, because I got that at an in-con commission, like a $20 commission at the booth for an artist to draw him, and they did a fantastic job drawing him. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. I got a really nice print of Nyx from Hades. I can turn to my immediate right and just see her cleavage staring directly at my face. I think a lot of issues come from the fact you only really see the bad side of cons. Same with anything. If you look at speedrunning, you will hear about people cheating. Yeah, like, that's just kind of the unfortunate thing of always hearing the bad stories, because they tend to be the most attractive thing to get people's attention. But on the other side of that, I have so many positive stories about cons that I can share. Like, okay, this next story that I have from like a couple years ago will be the absolute thing that I think is just the thing that makes conventions and cosplay beautiful. So, I was at this convention in 2023, and this convention was like a general comic convention. And this comic convention, I was there for just a day. I was dressed as Nero again, and I was walking around, and I encountered this one guy who was dressed as Superman, and he looked perfect on the part. Like, his hair is roughly about the same length as what my hair is now, except his hair was naturally black and like wavy, and he had a beard. He just looked the part excellently. So I stopped him. I'm like, "Hey man, can I get a picture with you?" or a picture of you? And he's like, "Sure." So I take the picture. I compliment his outfit, and we just say our pleasantries, and then we separate. Later that day, I'm at the front of the dealer's room because I've just been browsing, looking for stuff that I want to buy, and I see him with these two kids. They're probably no older than like 3 or 4, I want to say. And he's posing with them, and he's like having fun posing. And after the parents are done taking the pictures with him, these two kids turn around to him and ask him if he could fly for them. And my heart fucking melted. Everybody that heard that was like, "Oh, like that was the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life." And the guy played it off wonderfully. He was like, "No, I can't do that. The convention staff wouldn't like me flying around." Like, did not break the magic for them at all. And I'm like, that's the kind of shit that people think mall Santas are. Like, that is the magic of it right there. That is the perfect pearl of how positive a con experience can be. So, yes, I'm very biased. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I don't know if I'll ever stop. I like it too much, you know? I like the community getting to meet up like that. That's adorable. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. And then at that same convention, I got flirted with out of nowhere, and I really didn't know how to act about it, which I've told that story with some friends, and they were like, "Dude, you got flirted with," and I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about how I was flirted with on that one. It wasn't bad, it was just, it wasn't the kind of flirt that would have gotten me, because of how just bizarre it was. So yeah, you kind of also encounter some dichotomy there. Alright, I need to drink some water. I'm dehydrated as fuck. Oh my god. But yeah, you just get to have some very nice human interactions with people. last year when I went to that con that Neil Newbon was at, I was actually stopped to take pictures with some other Devil May Cry cosplayers, and we just kind of got to shoot the shit about life, you know? Talked about what we did for work, talked about what we were thinking for the future, how bad the job market is, and then another Superman cosplayer, not the same guy, different person, a Superman cosplayer came up to us with his wife and was just kind of chatting with us, and he just got a $10 gin and tonic in his hand, and I'm like, yeah, that's the other thing, you just encounter a Superman with a gin and tonic. That's pretty apt as well. And I say $10 gin and tonic, and while that sounds expensive, it is, this con made sure you got your fucking money's worth of a gin and tonic. Like, the gin and tonics they gave you, I think, were roughly the size of a party cup. Like, they made sure you got $10 worth. So I was like, oh, fuck, $10 got you that? Okay, that's actually not bad. So, yeah, God damn it, I'm getting the wanderlust for conventions. I want to go to a con! The next con I'm going to is in September. Fuck! I want to go so badly. Okay, I think Sherry was this way, I think. Right? Oh no, I want to get the diamonds unlocked. Let's see, I went up, got the red herb, or herb, rather. Hub. I should say it properly and say herb. The red herb, and combined that. Then there was the doors that, the shutters got broken open in that hallway. Sherry dropped the heart key. Try and go back upstairs. Sorry, I got mixed up because my brain just went into like story mode and I just kind of autopiloted a little bit. But yeah, in terms of finding cool stuff at conventions, like all of that is the human interactivity side. Do not get me fucking started on the merch you can get. So, I was at this one-day convention and I was walking around, kind of seeing the booths and seeing people's costumes. Very nice little small local convention. Not anything that's like not anything that's super massive or anything. It's a green plant that you crushed up paper. I don't call it a herb. I mean, it's classified as a herb in the menu, so I call it a herb. Okay, this is where she was. So I'm at this con, and I see this booth that, out of all things, has imports. Bringing to just this small Midwestern anime convention, just an imports booth from Japan. And through that, I am now the nice, proud owner of a Japanese game guide for Dragon Quest VIII on the PS2, and a Japanese copy of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker that is legitimate with disc and everything. Doesn't have the box cover. I need to find that, but yeah, I just have those now, and I'm like, oh fuck. That's awesome. Because I love Wind Waker, one of my favorite games ever. I have a tattoo of it on my back. So I'm like, of course I'm gonna get a Japanese copy of Wind Waker. When am I running into that again? Another booth that I remember encountering actually sold blankets, like really fancy video game themed blankets that had like Elden Ring print, and these were soft too. These were really nicely made blankets. Unfortunately, those blankets were like at con only purchases, so you had to be really sure if you wanted to get them there then and there. They didn't sell them online, which honestly, oh fuck. Honestly felt like kind of a missed opportunity, but oh well. I guess because of how specialized of a product they are, people can't always drop that kind. People can't always have those readily available online. Anyhow, what other merch? Yeah, to put it mildly, I've gotten a lot of shit at conventions that definitely wouldn't be classified as financially conscious. That is the way I would put it. I have not, at cons, I tried to keep a budget of like a few $100s or so. Like, that's my limit. Combined with autographs, I tend to keep my merch buying as not draining as I could keep it. Does that mean I'm always good at that? No. No, I have my moments of weakness. But I would say I, at the very least, am fairly budget conscious with that. Because I tend to separate my con budgets based on either food being separate and then merch stuff. And that includes things like autographs and photo ops. And actually, funnily enough, all of the dice that I use for my Pathfinder games, well, not all, but my fancier dice are all ones that I've gotten at conventions too. My Obsidian dice, my Geode dice, those two I got at cons because they were there, and while I could get them online, yes, there's just something nice about getting it then and there. I did see a copy of Dragon Quest VII on the PS2 that was also PS1 that was also tempting, but I decided against that because I think it was like 90 or 120 bucks or something. And I don't have a PS1, and nowadays with the remake of Dragon Quest VII, I don't really need to get that because I like also how they changed some things in the remake that make it a far more streamlined experience. You know, I may be a Dragon Quest fan, but I remember playing the 3DS version of 7 and how there was a completely uninterrupted 2-hour-long dungeon of just puzzles. And while I don't mind a slow burn of a game, that was a goddamn crawl. All right, that's unlocked. All right, so Heart Key is unlocking the area there. All good, Sprays. We're just gonna go unlock that heart door to get rid of this Heart Key, empty some space out, and the ad break's about to happen in about a minute, so we're gonna go into our ad break fairly soon. There, get rid of that. I think the other diamond key was... Okay, it was through there. And then the club key goes into there. Alright, but the ads are actually about to start, so we're going to go into 3 minutes of ads. Hour of no pre-rolls after, so hydrate, stretch, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Thank you for your patience. Alright. So, we have one diamond door that we can open this way. Ah, shit, I forgot you're here. Discard that key. Well, we're already making good headway here. It's gonna burst through the fucking door, isn't it? Yep. And it still fucking made me jump. Grads didn't play again. I think I know why. Is it, Is it related to the thing you were talking about? The, with how you have to keep putting your government ID in, or is it like a API problem? It couldn't be because I lost my affiliate status. That would just straight up be wrong, because I think you lose your affiliate status when you haven't streamed in like a year plus or so. And I feel like I would be notified if I lost it. Alright. Also, this just made me remember. I'm missing a chess piece that I got out of the library. I forgot about that. So we're gonna get that real quick. And get those plugs and put those in. Alright, so since we unlocked the heart door, we just probably go through that and then it's just to the sewers, I guess. As I said, we've been really going through this. You know, actually, Sprays, you're a Resident Evil expert, so I'm going to ask you this question. In terms of how this game's scenario, A-B scenario stuff works, which A-B scenario is considered the canon one? Like, is Claire A to Leon B canon, or is it, or Leon A, Claire B canon? Because I feel like it would be Leon A, Claire B, because then Ada, at the very least, is introduced in that one, and I don't know if she is here. So, okay, that means you cannot join. Oh, so to get around this, I connect to you. Okay. Wait, you lost affiliate? No. I haven't lost affiliate. I thought maybe it couldn't be because I have not lost affiliate. I was wondering if I did, but it wouldn't make sense because you don't lose affiliate status on Twitch unless you haven't streamed in like a really long time. So they wouldn't have taken it away from me unless I did some kind of bannable offense, which, I don't know, even Twitch partners get bans on their channel and don't lose their partner status, so I don't know. I was trying to think on solutions, but yeah, I think what you just posted about, that makes the most sense. All right, there. But no, I've been affiliate for a long while now, and I definitely don't plan on losing it. I'm gonna try my best to keep it. Actually, we already made a lot of progress, so I'm gonna save. For this one, it's Claire A and Leon B, but it has been redone now, so both are considered canon. Oh boy, that's not confusing. Both are canon in their own... Okay. I grabbed the valve and not ink ribbons. Oops. But yeah, I've been affiliate for like over 3 years now, so I've kept with it. God, I remember the morning after I got my affiliate status was like, whoa! Like, that was an interesting way to wake up in the morning. Because I think the night before I had played Castlevania Circle of the Moon, which... Oh, that game. That game was a fucking time and a half. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend that one. Like, unless you're playing the Anniversary Collection where you can rewind the game and have save states, don't play that game. Don't, like, love yourself. Don't play it. There's just too many design decisions. I'm on the edge of losing my YouTube partnership. Oh. Yeah, I don't see myself ever getting that. Not with the current way that it is. I will say, though, my growth on YouTube has been very, very gradual and really good to see. I'm at over 100 subs on there, which, honestly, I'm extremely grateful about. Like I have more like, my YouTube is literally just, like, a place for me to archive my VODs. I'm not really somebody that's going to, like, do a whole bunch of fancy editing of clips and shit to, you know, get, like, maximize views. Mine's literally just cut out the ad breaks, maybe censor some stuff here or there that I think might be too much for YouTube, and then put it out there and then just let it rip. And again, wasn't expecting the kinds of growth I've been experiencing on YouTube, which is really, really nice to see, and I'm very grateful about it. All right, and that's plug number 3. So I guess we're gonna go into, but yeah, if in terms of making YouTube partner, no, I'm not even close on that front. Like, that's not possible for me. I just think, like, I've stalled at 1,600 subs. I'm not really liked by the censors. I am at 107, and I just try, and for the most part, I don't tend to overly censor my stuff. I mean, I keep all my curses in here. You know, I say fuck all the time. But if one of the games I'm playing, for instance, is like, tends to have some very difficult themes, I try my best to be respectful and at least censor around some stuff that I know would be triggering for some, and also something that YouTube would also not like to see, because YouTube is YouTube. All right. Oh, right, there's that room there, but I can't get in that. Can I? No, I need a club key for it. All right. Or wait, do I not? There was also a small key I encountered. Where was it again? I forgot where the small key was. Okay, 6,700 subs. Wow. Oh, needed this year. Yeah, I need way more if I'm ever gonna reach partner. And as I said, with the way my content style is, I don't think I'm ever going to reach that. And frankly, I don't really mind. Like, I'm like, doing content creation full time is something that's never. I will admit, at some points it has crossed my mind, but being able to pay my bills with the job I've got now is not the worst thing in the world. And just doing this as a hobby has been a very nice time. Like, I'm perfectly content with what I've got now. I don't really need for too much more. The only things that I could want more is that maybe, you know, my rent to not cost as much, or for gas to not be as bad as it is, but can't have everything. Been tempted to go for it, but I like the quiet streams. Yeah, I like to kind of keep my stream style. I like to consider my stream style very much like we're just kind of chilling and chatting about life. Couldn't keep up with chat at 250. I think I could. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't know, actually, because I've never reached that point of having more than, like, a few people in chat at once. And, I mean, part of the reason... Okay, so, part of the reason why I started streaming was because I had moved states, and I needed to find a means of socializing because I was away from all the people that I went to high school with, and I was in a new state, and I wanted to just kind of learn to make new friends again. And, or at the very least, learn also to talk to people better. Because, you know, Nero Spicy doesn't quite really, has a bit of a hard time socializing because he just doesn't really know how to say the right thing at some points. One of those classic social anxiety problems. Oh God. And streaming also just kind of evokes the same energy that I enjoyed back in Texas, where I would be just playing a game and chilling and chatting with people, and that's just the energy that I like to bring, because not quite the same as like the couch co-op playing multiplayer games, because I don't play multiplayer games, but at the very least, you know, we're getting to hang out, talk about life, talk about things we like, talk about things we're excited for. Like, we're not going to be having, you know, world-solving conversations or anything, because while we definitely can talk about issues in the real world, like, you know, the censorship stuff and fucking CASA and how they're trying to essentially, like, control people's abilities to browse the internet and, you know, have people's IDs essentially for almost everything. There's times and places to talk about those real world things. And yeah, I just kind of want to evoke that time of, like, it's after work and we're all just having a time together where we chat, maybe have some drinks, maybe eat while we talk, you know, just hang out. Like, that's basically it. Started purely because I had a stroke and was never told this. Oh no. Oh God, I am so sorry. Oof. Okay, so streaming for you was kind of like a form of physical therapy to be able to talk again, right? Wow. God, I am so sorry that happened. All right, in here. Okay, so next I guess we go through the heart door. Get off me with your Peter Griffin fit. Yeah, nobody's even noticed the stutter, though they may have spotted sometimes only my eyes open. I just, like, on top of the socializing aspect, I also just wanted to get better at talking to people. I was a shock. I think the thing is, like, when you are talking to a group of people, especially strangers, the social anxiety can kick in, and a lot of people will end up stuttering at some point, where they just will have trouble getting their thoughts out on a clear level. Like, that's, again, part of the reason why I'm doing this, is because growing up, I always had problems with talking to groups of people. You know, extremely bad stage fright. And in some ways, I still have that majorly bad stage fright, because I'll be like, I'm fine now talking to random people online and having others on YouTube watching the VODs hear my voice. Like, that's fine, getting to chat with everybody, get their thoughts on things. But if you were to put me in on a stage in front of a fuck ton of people, I would be paralyzed with fear. I would straight up be like, I would be a shivering goddamn chihuahua on stage. I'd be like Colbany in Chainsaw Man. I'd just be like, my leg would not be able to settle down. I would be shaking. So I kind of use streaming as a form of, like, trying to get used to actually talking with people and being better at talking to groups in particular. So, yeah. So that's one of the reasons. But as I said, it was also because I wanted to socialize again, because I just didn't have friends around really since I moved. And the big question hanging over that is, well, why'd you move? I moved for a few reasons. One, because while it is hot right now in my area in the Midwest, living in Texas, you deal with triple degree summers all the fucking time, and I just could not fucking stand another triple degree summer. My skin would start to, like, I would genuinely have bad allergic reactions at some points. So, yeah, fair to say I was not feeling keen on staying on that for that reason. Another reason is, all right, this is gonna be a very personal answer. Very personal answer. I felt that I wasn't really figuring out where my place was in the world at the time. I was, going through college, never really figured out what I wanted to do. Shocker, I still haven't. In the many years that I kept going to college and hopping between degrees, I never really did figure it out. And with that in mind, I thought maybe changing states would be able to help me kind of get the drive to figure that out. And in some ways it did. It made me realize that I really don't need a super fancy high-paying job for me to consider myself content with life. Like, literally what I'm content with now is cooking for myself with my own roof over my head and, doing my hobbies, doing this, playing games and streaming with you all, watching shows, reading manga. This is what I knew I liked. But I did not know that at the time when I lived in Texas. And even if I did, I would probably want to move out at some point because it is, as I said, sweltering, ball-meltingly hot down there. Like, genuine, scrotum puddle hot. No reason to worry about not knowing what you're doing. Yeah, 40s and don't have a clue. Yeah, but the issue is that, and I kind of blame the internet for this, you see so many fucking influencers online or people that seem to had figured out their lives, that seemed really content in their lives, and they're young and have a house, and nowadays you can't even, rent's barely affordable, let alone a mortgage, and yeah, it kind of made me feel a bit undercooked. I thought, oh, maybe a massive change like moving states could finally get me out of the undercooked status, but yeah, so all this to say, that was one of the reasons why I moved. I just thought change of environment would be able to help me kind of figure out my direction in life, and yeah, oh, it's everywhere. I moved back from my parents and rent was so high. Yeah, I don't know every area in the UK, but I hear London in particular is atrocious regarding the rent pay that you have to do there. Even hotels in that area are high because you go to a hotel in London and they're like, oh yes, you're going to stay in this perfect estate. It's going to cost you about £300,000 per hour, but it's perfect because it's been here for 300 years, and you're going to have the most perfect Greg's sausage roll ever. Note, I've never been to the UK, so I don't even know how good a Greg's sausage roll is. I've never even had a sausage roll. Literally the only thing I know about Greg's was that it was the plastic bag that flew across that one interviewed that happened on BBC, I think. You probably know it, actually. It's this very funny video where it's this guy who's giving this really dry reply to a question on BBC News. Just kind of I think something about the economy. And he's just given this reply and he's like, something, and it's the best one in the world. And then Greg's bag just comes into frame and just goes directly over his face. And it's just, that is one of those universal world just played a prank on you kind of moments that's caught on camera that you just cannot be mad about. Because it's like, that works on so many levels. One, it brightens the mood from an extremely dry reply. Two, it's the most perfect advertisement for Greg's that they probably ever got ever. And three, it's just all the circumstances just lined up beautifully for it. Four-star hotel is more precise, more pricey just because I have to do Okay, what is silver service? That sounds like something that would be in a Yakuza, like, side... It sounds like something that you do in a Yakuza host club, like in the Yakuza series. What the fuck is silver service? Is that like a really, really good form of room service? Greg's sausage rolls are amazing. Someday I would love to... I want to travel overseas more to try some more food from places. So the UK is definitely on the list. Like UK and Scotland and Ireland in particular. I'd love to visit those areas. All sorts of stuff. Basically folding napkins, setting tables perfectly, folding beds down. Oh. So like housekeeping. You know what? I hate to use shotgun ammo, but I genuinely do not like the dog enemies.
They make me mad.
Yeah, it's £5 if you want me to turn your napkins into a rose. Oh! There we go. £1.50 if you want me to bring water to your room, and water's £4 a bottle? Oh, that's, if I may borrow a phrase, if I may borrow a Britishism phrase, that is taking the piss. That is taking the piss and dumping it chamber pot style out the window. What the fuck? Let's see, £4 for a bottle of water? That's probably like, what, $6 to $6.50 a bottle? Maybe around $7? That's insane. All right, so next we're going into the parking lot and kennel area. £5 though to turn your napkin into a rose is ridiculous. I've yet to charge anyone myself because it's mainly old couples who order it. That does strike me as a very like old couples novelty kind of thing. The kind of thing where it's like, oh yes, honey, do you want me to charge the man? Do you want me to charge to make sure he turns it into a rose? Ah yes, my wife would like a rose napkin, please. And can you make sure? Can you make sure? Oh, can you turn this one into a carnation? What's... That speaks very much an old money wants it kind of deal. And God, you probably don't even get tips in the UK, so you'd have to, so that's just part of your salary. Actually, wait, do you have tips? Hold on. I know most of Europe doesn't, but I don't know if the UK does or not. Takes me 30 seconds to make the rose. That's the hardest one. Nice. Hold on. Does Okay, so the UK seems to actually have tipping. Interesting. Yeah, because, like, I don't know how tipping culture is over there, but let me tell you, it is some shit here. We get some, but I'm on 13 pounds an hour, so they're rare. Oh, okay. Yeah, like... Oh, hello. There she is.
Sorry about that. When I saw the uniform, I thought you were another zombie.
Who are you?
Ada Wong.
And what are you doing here?
I'm looking for some guy named Ben. He's one of those reporter types, always looking for a scoop. I heard he was locked up in the cell block, only there's a wrecked car barring the entrance. I've been trying to find another way inside. If we work together, we can move this thing. Give me a hand here, will you?
Yeah, tipping culture in America in particular can be pretty bad, though. Like, the problem is that so many people's, like, pay is tip dependent. Like, I think Subway, for instance, wanted to, at some point, gravitate towards having tips be the exclusive way that they're, like, the primary way that their employees got paid, and everybody was like, you know? And I'm also agreement. It's like, just give a fucking living salary. A lot of these places can afford that. Like, big corpos can afford to do it. They just don't. And not everybody, I don't know. Like, I try to tip when I can. Like, 20% is usually what I go for. And if I have it on me, I'll definitely tip cash as well. I'm trying to think. There's also, I don't know. Yeah, like, I just... What are some other British foods? I don't know, like, there's some British foods that I've seen that sound alright, but I am not certain how I feel about trying them. Like, a British breakfast, for instance, looks like a lot to pack on, and... I'm also curious... Fish and chips just... Well, that sounds nice. I'm not a fish person.
Ada, wait!
I'm trying to think, what other British foods are there? I know for certain I'd want to try some proper British beer, because, you know, I like a nice bevy, as they might say. What else is there? If anything, if I was in the UK, I'd probably do just more sightseeing, if anything. Like, I'd probably just want to see some sights and check out the architecture and just be around some of the areas of the city that seem really cool. That's what my dad and I did for Sweden, pretty much. When we went, like, 4 years ago. Close to 4 years ago, actually. No, don't take that. Blue herb. Can I discard this? No.
Let me guess. You must be Ben, right? Get up, now!
What do you want? I'm trying to sleep here.
Is this the guy?
Ben, you told the city officials that you knew something about what's been going on, didn't you? What did you tell them?
And who the heck are you?
I'm trying to find my boyfriend. His name's John. He was working for a branch office of Umbrella, based in Chicago, but he suddenly disappeared 6 months ago. I heard a rumor that he's here in the city.
I don't know anything. And even if I did, why would I want to tell you?
Okay, I say we leave him in there. Does anyone know where they put the key to this cell?
I have it right here, officer. But I'm not about to leave this cell. Those zombies aren't the only things crawling around out there.
What was that?
Like I said, I'm not leaving this cell. Get out of here before you lead it right to me.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the only cop left alive in this building.
What?
Look, if you want to live, then you're gonna have to leave with me.
But do you even know how to get out of the city? There's a kennel in the back of the building. Inside the kennel is a manhole. Go through and it'll lead you to the sewer entrance, but it won't be easy.
All right, I'm going.
Customer against 3 a.m. All good. We're just, I was just letting that cutscene play while I stretch my back a little bit. Manhole opener. And then we move on. Yeah, I was just kind of talking about wanting to sightsee in the UK, since that's what my dad and I did when I went to Sweden with him a few years back. And if overseas travel wasn't so fucking expensive, I would 1000% be doing it more. Because Japan's also on my list, alongside Croatia and Poland as well. Poland and Iceland. And I'd love to go to Sweden again. Because one of the reasons why I went to Sweden with my dad was because a lot of my ancestry on my dad's side is actually from Sweden. We've got some Swedish ancestry that my dad tracked down to a particular village that we went to, and my dad got a rock from the area, and we took some pictures, and God, Sweden's so cool. It was so nice. And I was like, fuck, I wish America had a transportation system like Europe does. It made me so sad. I was reading a book on a train as we were letting the Swedish countryside pass us up, and then I looked down at my book, looked out at the passing landscape of trees, and I'm like, motherfucker, we are really behind. I would say Scotland's better place to go. Very similar to England, just nicer landscapes. Yeah, and I think most of my ancestry is actually closer to Scottish than English, so that's an idea. Alright, so we're just gonna go, let's see. So we got that done. We're gonna go into the kennels, get the manhole stuff done. Yeah. As for other things, I don't know, travel, like, even traveling across the country right now in America is risky with all the shit happening and everything being expensive. So yeah, overseas travel is a pipe dream. A pipe dream I can fantasize about when I see travel vlogs all over the place, but, you know, can't afford it. That's why, just avoid London, Manchester, Leeds, Liverpool, Kent, any major cities. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know, like, I'd have to ask my dad where in particular our ancestors came from, because, visiting ancestral spots is also kind of a small interest of mine, just to kind of see where my heritage came from. Which, you know, shouldn't be surprising when I say I am so fucking white. Like, I am as white as can be. And I mentioned Croatia in particular because most of my mom's half of my family, in like pretty much a major majority sense, is Croatian. Like, to the point where I have relatives from Croatia. And I guess just, you know, part of my part of my heritage is that I am 1/4 Croatian. So, yeah. Someday I'd like to go because I hear Croatia's very pretty. Alright, you know what I'm going to do because this guy's on the ground? Fuck you. But yeah, Swedish and Croatian are like the two major parts of me, intermixed with some Scottish and Polish. Like, those are probably like the major ones. There's more, obviously, because everybody's ancestry is like this odd mix of stuff where you'll just have interspliced random bits and stuff here and there of what you've got. But for me, those are my major ones. I am pretty majority Swedish and Croatian. Alright, if the boss that I think is happening is happening... I think Ada's actually gonna... That Ada section's gonna come up soon, so we're gonna save real quick, actually. But yeah, like, the major cities thing, I know for certain is to avoid that. Like, that's something I even encounter in my neck of the woods in the US. I'm a healthy mix of English and Scottish, two places that hate each other. Ah. But yeah, for my part, I know to avoid major cities most of the time. It's just in some instances they're unavoidable, like in, funnily enough, when I've gone to some conventions. I went to a Comic-Con in Houston a number of years ago, and, you know, my Texas area that I lived in was around the Houston area, which, Houston is, you know, one of the Texan cities that isn't considered the most safe in a lot of ways. And one particular, like, I wasn't in major trouble when this happened, but it was definitely a point where I was like, yeah, I'm glad I don't live around here anymore. So I was going to this comic convention, and I'm kind of scoping the area out, looking for places I could at least get some bottles of water at, or maybe some beers to have at my hotel room. I'll say after this cutscene.
I don't think I've introduced myself.
Actually, no, fuck it. We've seen this
name's
before.
Leon.
So
I'm
I was at this convention, and or I was at the outer area of the convention center, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, man, I need your help with something.
Think we can get upstairs through this shaft?
with
me a
getting
boost.
food
I'll
and
go and
stuff."
check.
Singles me out in particular because I must have looked like just a random guy that he could just scam money out of, because he was trying to get me to pay for stuff for him and follow him. He was trying to get me to follow him somewhere to pay for stuff, and I'm like, I see what's going on here, but oh, hello. Oh,
How cute. That little girl must have dropped this. I think I'll hold on to it for her.
yeah, so pretty much he was gonna try and either scam me or something else, and I played it off being like, nah, I spent a lot of my money just getting here, and he's like, all right. So thankfully nothing happened. I was smart enough to, you know, not really do much else on that front, but that just kind of reinforced being like, if you're gonna go to a major city area, be careful. Be very, very, very careful. Because, like, they're not always going to be, like, most of the time they may not be very safe. All right, let's go do that puzzle first. Thankfully, though, as I said, I've not had bad experiences in other areas that I've been to because I've been with people. Although I did get scammed out of some money in Austin, but that was Austin, you know? It wasn't a whole lot of money. Like, it was just maybe a few bucks that I gave in cash, and that's it. So just have your wits about you in major cities. I didn't because I was young and dumb and don't really visit major cities very often. So yeah, that's just the general deal with cities. Is Ada holding her gun sideways? Oh, she gets to kick the zombie's head off. She's holding her gun sideways. Okay, I never noticed that. I was like, wait a second, that's not the polygons acting funny like in the cutscenes. No, that is her holding the gun sideways. That's funny. All right. She also shoots faster than Leon. I noticed that. I was like, yeah, she shoots a lot faster. Trying to think anything else for travel stories. I don't know. Like I imagine going to the UK could potentially bring out some stories. You know what I probably wouldn't do because one, I wouldn't want to bug somebody on their job, and two, it's something everybody else does. I need to push this box 7 times and the other one twice. Okay. Yep. The Buckingham Palace guards, the one with the giant fuzzy hats, I frankly would rather just kind of see that at a distance. You're not going to catch me going up to the palace guards and going up to them to try and be like, trying to be goofy in front of them, because like they're doing their job. Like, is it funny that you got a stoic guy being there while you got a guy that's making a goofy face and like trying to just be a goofball? Sure, but I wouldn't want to bug. I wouldn't want somebody to bug me like that when I'm working. So why would I want that? Why would I want to do that to a palace guard? Like, yeah, they're highly trained military officers. They are not fucking Disney mascot characters that you pose with. Like, that's just an issue I would say with tourism in general, is that people tend to treat the places they go to like theme parks. I mean, shit, like I talked about Japan earlier. There have been some real fucking shitheads in Japan with that shit.
Can you hear me?
Ada, did you find anything?
Right here. Think fast. Here's one more.
Ada, you hit my pinky toe.
I can't reach the ventilation hole. I'm going to have to find another way around. I'll catch up with you later.
I'll have to catch up with you later. You broke my pinky toe. You tossed it on top of it.
Ada, wait!
I need you to help splint my pinky toe.
Leon, come in. I found the girl, and I've cleared the wreckage that was blocking the corridor.
Got it.
Oh, yikes. I want to see the ammo hit Leon in the head. Yeah, like the car battery meme. Okay, so, like, Japan, for instance, has some really bad problems that it's had in the past with tourism that's really, honest to God, affected a lot of problems that they tend to have with people coming into Japan in general, which is, like, it sucks, but I totally understand where they're coming from. Like, I wouldn't say it started with Logan Paul, but Logan Paul was definitely, like, one of the worst to ever do it. Like, genuinely one of the most horrible cases of that. Like, that was a disgusting thing that happened. And that was like, Jesus, like 8 years ago now? Oh, God. And there's been many other cases, like the Johnny Somali incidents, where, you know, streamers being shitheads for clout. Streamers and content creators being shitheads for clout and trying to, like, be terrible people for the sake of just quick YouTube money or streamer money. And it just is disgusting that they just do this and then expect to get away with it because it's just them wanting to be like, it's just a prank, bro. In fact, I remember seeing a story that apparently was said that the tourism was getting so bad that Japan straight up cordoned off an entire street in Kyoto because they just were having so many problems of foreigners taking pictures of geisha and other people in the area without permission. And Japan is really, really stringent about permission to film and photograph in areas, especially if you're going to be doing videos. In fact, that's why a lot of times whenever you see a place that has areas of Japan as like a location for a movie setting or something, they typically just find a like street and dog not God. Okay. Yeah, I get the JoJo's reference. Is that a motherfucking JoJo reference? I lost my train of thought. I forgot these dogs were here. I forgot what I was gonna say. That made me completely lose my train of thought. Point is, if you're gonna go to a place... Oh, no, it was filming in Japan. Yeah, they'll typically find streets that are like kind of the more district-y type of areas in like New York or something and film in there because, correct me if I'm, like, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments of the VODs. But if you're gonna film somewhere in Japan, you have to ask for permission from pretty much all of the local areas to make sure that it's okay. Like, all of the businesses in a particular street. And that's why for stuff like travel vlogs, you'll have people needing to ask permission to be filmed to even go inside of a bar. You know? Because privacy is a huge thing there. Ah, shit. Right, red key card. And I think I get the submachine gun here because I gave Claire the ammo expansion this time. So, yeah. Leon gets the submachine gun instead of the storage expansion. Which in retrospect, I don't think was the best idea because Leon has to use small keys, but... it is what it is. Know the feeling, I like my privacy and hate anyone knowing where I am. I wouldn't say I'm entirely private. I do, like, there's a limit to how much I'm willing to share, though. But, yeah, I totally understand it. That's why I respect channels like Japan Eats that asks for permission, name sprays, and that's all anyone needs to know online. Yeah. Like, shocker, the name I go by online, Will, is the name I go by in real life, but that itself is a nickname. I'm not going to share my government name online. Not at all. You're not going to catch me ever sharing my full given government name online. Like, no. Like, I have to really make sure I trust the person before I feel comfortable sharing my government name with them. Not that it's deeming... It's not damning or anything. It's just a comfort thing for me. Like, I'm Will, and that's it. That's all you need to know. I'm a guy that's also a half-elf. A half-elf that really wishes he could cast some fucking cantrips. Also, ad break starting in 5 minutes, heads up. But yeah, like, then that's part of the reason why it's so faux pas for people to be shitheads like that in Japan. And just generally being a nuisance. Honestly, if Logan Paul or Johnny Somali did the same kind of shit in other countries, it would still be just as bad. Like, because the particulars of what Logan Paul did were pretty goddamn horrible. Like, they'd be considered really horrible and intrusive no matter where you are, but in Japan in particular, they were horrible, just horrible conduct. I've had IRL friends come into my stream and use my legal name, really no... Yeah. Like, Again, I'm grateful that a lot of my friends that do know that I stream and have occasionally come into chat just use the nickname that they've known me for years. Like, they know my actual name, but they've known me as Will for so long, and they're not going to call me anything else. And, again, I don't mind being called my full name when it comes to a context like work. Like, I use it for job applications and stuff, but on a casual basis, I just prefer my nickname. All right. Let's see. So we're going to use the club key for the remainder of the doors in the police station. And then after that, I know we still have the puzzle. We have the puzzle in the lighter room, the room with the sconces to solve, the gears, the last chess piece for the puzzle on that, and then after that is the boss fight in the sewers. And I think the sewer boss is probably where I'll stop, because we'll probably be past the 3-hour mark by then, and if I'm going to be honest with you all, I kind of have a small, like, this headache is not going away. It really isn't. It's not as bad as it was when I was, when I had just gotten home from work, but summer's giving me some bad headaches. Yeah, that's why anytime, if I ever, by some bizarre socioeconomical miracle, I managed to actually go to Japan for a couple weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks, I will be on my best fucking behavior while I'm there. I will be on my best behavior. I will make sure to be as courteous as I can possibly be, because I do not want to be another Logan Paul. No one wants to be the Paul brothers. No one. No one wants to be them. You know what? I'm going to put that shotgun away. We've got only 3 rounds left on it anyway. That's the wrong area. But yeah, bad tourism just exists no matter what the country, though. I remember a story about I think it was a teenager or something, who scratched his and his girlfriend's name in the side of the Roman Colosseum. Like, the Roman Colosseum. And I'm like, you have missed shotgun ammo? If I get near it again, let me know. I'm not gonna go all the way back for it, since I'm getting close to a save room anyway. I'm just gonna put the shotgun away for now, because I want to... And the other thing is, I know a Mr. X encounter is going to happen, so I'm going to preemptively put this away so I have enough space to get the gear, and then just lay right into Mr. X. It's in the same place you got this SMG, the weapons locker. Oh, okay. Yeah, next time I'm down there, I'll check it. All right, ad break's about to start, though, so we're 3 minutes, hour of no pre-rolls after, so hydrate, stretch, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Okay. Just walk very slowly. All right, put the shotgun away, and then we're gonna start opening doors. We're gonna go back and get that one club door that's near the heart room. Actually, where are the other club doors? They're all on one level? Yeah. They're all just on the ground level. Cool. All right. Yeah, I hear you breathing. Yeah, basic gist is, I just don't really understand how people can go to a foreign country and just think that they're completely fine, that they think it's okay for them to just act like crazy assholes. Oh my goodness, Sprays! Thank you for the sub. Why didn't... Oh wait, did the video not play? Are you... Oh, come on. Real... There it is. It's just delayed. Thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. Oh my god, thank you. Please enjoy your emotes made by my friend Lilith Vanille. Thank you. Thank you so much. Scare the shit out of me. Like, I saw the notification. I was like, wait a second. Did Mix It Up break? Nope. And yes, the sub notification for my channel is the Hoopla brick throw from SpongeBob with just a random brick audio I found on my instance, which I think is fairly reliable, I'd say, for MP3 finds. Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Subscribe to Tier 1. Thank you so much. No worries, I'm literally getting no ads already, so you deserve it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah, the Roman Colosseum story, though, was fucking dumb, though. It was this guy, as I said, carved his name of his girlfriend and his and his girlfriend's names into the Colosseum, only for him to get caught, told why or asked rather, what the fuck? Why would you do that? This is an important historical, like, site of the world. And the guy just has the gall to go, I didn't understand how important it was to history, man. I just thought, like, this would be a cute thing that I could do to, like, impress my girlfriend. And it's like, you want to impress your girlfriend? Go buy her an Italian dinner. Like, it did that to the Japanese temple as well. Yeah, like, I think it was a Canadian teenager. Like, actually, one bit of vandalism that fucking was dumb and was born out of people just being dumb. You mentioned the Torii gates. There's this one Torii gate in a prefecture that is like it stands in a beach area that tends to have rising and receding tides. So when the tide is out, you can actually, you know, go over to the gate and walk near it. And if you walk near it, you can notice that in the cracks of the Torii Gate, where obviously the wood gets, you know, water damaged and waterlogged in places, people started inserting yen coins into it, thinking that would provide them luck. It doesn't. No, literally, that was never stated in anything from the temple that manages the gate. That was just people making a stupid assumption on that. It's like, no, it's the... And yeah, carving name. I remember there was one, it was a Canadian teen, I think, who carved his name into a really old Japanese temple. Got in major trouble with that one. So yeah, don't, and also, that's the other thing. Don't think it's just Americans that act like jackasses overseas. Don't think it's just Americans. Every person all over the world is just as capable of being a massive jackass overseas. Like, it's not exclusively Americans. Americans tend to get a lot of focus on that front because, yes, we can be that bad frequently, but we don't, but like, it's not exclusively Americans. All right, there we go. Now then, we're gonna get that last club key door, and then we have to go get it from X. Gonna give it to me in a moment there, and then after that, we get the gear. It's gonna be the whole thing. Oh god, no, it's everywhere. I've had a few Americans over here piss me off. Lithuania, on the other hand. Oh! Yeah, like... I just have to wonder what fucking Captain Planet episode might have aired to potentially stop that behavior, you know? Just go like, hey kids, remember, if you're in a foreign country, be sure to treat the place you're in with proper respect, and if it's not allowed where you're from, don't do it there. Going to, let's see, what's a funny one? Going to Iceland and pretending like it's the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese is a no-go. Although I wonder what an Icelandic Chuck E. Cheese would be like, though. I wonder if there's a... Actually, is there a Chuck E. Cheese equivalent in the UK? I'm gonna guess no. I know the closest thing you probably have to a terrifying mascot meant for kids, though, is Mr. Blobby. But I don't think there's like a Chuck E. Cheese that would be for Mr. Blobby exclusively. Although that would be very funny to see. Not really, we don't have mascots these days. Honestly, fair. I think the era of mascots has kind of died off. Hello! There we go. And that's why I kept that on me. Anything else on you? No? Just that? Cool. Mr. Blobby's creepy as shit. Yeah, so back when I was a Rooster Teeth fan, I was watching one of their live versions of their $1 Million Butt. And they did their UK version because they were doing RTX London. And someone said like, oh, you get £1 million, but you get followed around by Mr. Blobby. And then that's where I learned about Mr. Blobby, and I'm like, what? Ooh, 2-for-1 deal. I ran out on him at danger. I have lost all respect for Mr. X. I mean, this is why I have the heavy hitter shit. Holy fuck. And the thing is, Chuck E. Cheese is actually still a thing in the US. Just not... It's not the same. I've never been in one, but frankly, if I was to go to anything like that, I'd rather go to, like, I don't know, a Dave & Buster's or something. I say, having never been to a Dave & Buster's once in my life. Although, I hear really good things about Round 1. Chuck E. Cheese is still a thing? Oh yeah, they're still around. They're still around. I don't know if they're any good, but... Why did it catch creeps? That's weird. That mouse creeps me out. I don't know if the animatronics are the same as when I was a kid, but I know they definitely changed how how Chucky the mouse is animated in commercials, and he does not look the same, and it makes my gut turn because I'm like, oh, that's not the one that I recognize from my childhood. Please take him away. Like, you ever see a mascot so beloved from your childhood, and you just see a new art style take over on him, and you're like, eh. No, for some reason, Automod is just catching the word creeps. That's really weird. I don't understand why. And it caught it twice. I've never had it catch a word twice before. But yeah, like, animatronics creep me out too. I mean, there's despite my misgivings towards the franchise, there's a reason why Five Nights at Freddy's does so well. Okay, so club key. Is it because UK online safety? Maybe that's it. That might be the reason. FNAF was brilliant. I never played them, frankly. They just kind of seemed only like jump scare fests. The first one seemed like the best one because it actually had a real sense of atmosphere to it. But every game after it feels like it was just adding more and just taking away from its initial appeal. I feel like just should have stopped at 1. But, you know, that's my opinion. I like the lore. I mean, hey, to each their own. But frankly, with me for horror games, I like getting to play stuff like this. I like getting to play stuff like Signalis. Look Outside looks really good. Shit, what else is there? There's a lot. What's a horror game that made a good impression on me? Oh! Fucking Silver Pines! Oh my god, playing that demo made me really pumped for that game. Holy shit, that game was so, that demo was so good. Sprays, I'm looking you dead in the eyes. Go play the demo for Silver Pines. Silver Pines? Yes, it's so good. You play as a private investigator who's trying to look for a missing musician named Eddie Vance, who was last seen in a town called Silver Pines, but some kind of odd phenomenon has taken place where bizarre monsters have come out, and you have to explore the town to try and find this artist. That screenshot, the game name is, we'll check it out. Please do so. Like, it has immaculate atmosphere, and Sprays, in particular, this is the thing that sold me. So the game takes place in around the 90s, and you have an item that's a Polaroid camera that you can use at any time in menu-based documents and locations. And what that means is, say for instance, oh, I see this breakable wall that I need to use an item for to get past an area in the map. What you can do is you take a picture of that, and it saves that picture's location on the map for you, so when you get the item you need to destroy the wall, you go to your map and it goes, hey, this is where you need to go for that. Same thing for keypads, for other clues you find on documents, where it just lets you save them in the form of pictures that you can scroll through to find the corresponding ones that you saved. When I encountered that, I was like, oh my god, that, oh, and as I said, immaculate atmosphere too. Like genuinely like perfectly dreadful and ethereal. Very Twin Peaks energy at points. Just, excellent. Excellent demo, and I would 1000% recommend that full game. Oh my god. Like, I want that game so badly. And I think it's coming out October. I forget the exact day, but it is October. Because every game right now wants to avoid GTA 6. Even though you're not going to really ever catch me playing that. And it's got this very cool art style of being 2.5D with a very interesting rotoscope animation style for the monsters and the main character. And this is a very tiny detail that, you know, doesn't sound like a lot, but I like the cuteness of it. When you save at payphones, and when you save, you type in the number of the person that you're talking to save, kind of like how you enter codex numbers in Metal Gear Solid. But kind of like how you find ink ribbons next to typewriters in this game, when you check the coin deposit in a payphone, you can find extra quarters in there to use for saves, which I think is adorable. I love that little bit of detail there. I just think that's so cute. Sorry, I gush because, like, I played that demo during the past Next Fest stream weekend I did, and that game has been on my brain. That and Entropy both have been on my brain. Both of those games look fucking awesome. Also, I am so sorry if you hear any background noises. It is about to start storming in my area, actually. Like, we're slated to get some pretty damn heavy rain. All right. That's not the right room that I'm supposed to go to. Where was the thing again? I think it was upstairs. Yeah, it was upstairs. I misremembered. Alright, once I check out what's in that drawer that I get with the small key, then I'll go up and get the gear over in the library section, and then once that's done, we'll get that final chess piece, and then we can fight that boss. Wait, no, wrong room. I am excited for the storm, though, because frankly, we need the reprieve. It's supposed to be some of the hottest weather that we've encountered in a while. And it's as I said, I hate the hot weather. I hate the summer. Summer is my least favorite season because it gets me into like a reverse hibernation. I get groggy and I get headachy. It's just not fun. Oh, wait, I'm thinking of the library area in the first place. Okay. Well. I was trying to remember the hall that other locked drawer was in. Alright, we're just gonna schmoof through this guy here, because I don't want to burn too much ammo. Hee hee. Ha 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 ha. Get collisioned, idiot. Trying to do your fancy Dark Souls leap attack and you just fucking whiff it. Alright. So the first thing we need to do, check that locked drawer before I forget it. Handgun parts, which means... Right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So then we go this way. Square. More customers for him. Oh. I just realized I don't have the crank. Well, shit. Alright. I forgot that I need the crank for this. Where the fuck do I find the crank? I don't know where to find the crank. I forgot that in my last run. Because it's such a fucking innocuous nothing burger item that's so vital for 1 or 2 times. Shit. Where do I find it? It's gotta be around here, right? Wouldn't be in... It definitely was not in the basement. It's really out of the way this time as well. Oh... Oh god, wait. Is it in the, Is it in, like, the basement area? Do I have to go all the way back down there? Because honestly, if I'm gonna... If we're closing in the 3-hour mark, I may be close to being done right now, chat. Like, I hate to say it, but the headache's not getting better. Probably also blame the fact that I've only been getting about 5 hours or so of sleep. I've not been sleeping well because of this weather. If you're short on time, I'll tell you. Yeah, please let me know. If I could at least get the crank and then get that chest piece, I'll be happy. We can then start the next time with the boss fight, and then I can just take the rest of the night to rest. Chief Irons' office. His office? Wait, I can access his office as Leon? I thought that was a Claire exclusive place. Where Claire meets Sherry, it's there. Really? Wait, is that door preemptively destroyed when I'm there as Leon? Because I didn't see that. Yeah, it's just, I'm kind of getting this headache where I feel it in my nostrils and in my forehead. I don't know what kind of headache it is, but I have a feeling it might be stress. And I don't think the weather's helping it either. I don't know. Yeah, when you get the radio call from Claire, it's cleared. Oh, I had no idea. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Because I don't remember where we got it in Leon A, so yeah, I would have no idea. You took a while to respond. That guy really took a while to actually hit me after fighting his buddy. He's like, hey, thanks for taking him out. He owed me like $5 after I fronted him for a few Coke cans. I got him like 2 Diet Cokes and he still had to pay me back. Very polite liquor there. Yeah, he's like, yeah, go ahead, take your time. No, like, hey, this happens all the time. He gets stopped for cosplay pictures. I get it. All right, and that's just the diary of the chief, but I don't really care about that because, frankly, after the first playthrough, you've read all the documents. Not much of a need to otherwise. Yeah, it's not, I don't really have to go, I don't have to wake up early either because it is a holiday weekend for me. I feel like stopping early because, frankly, as I said, I've got a headache and I like to rest up. I've just had a rough week and I need to rest up best I can. All right, there, fucking finally. Is this just a document? Yeah, it is. Exit. All right. So we got that done. Oh God, is he here? Yep, he's here. Shit, I don't have my submachine gun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stinky. Ow. Do your big thing. I was not expecting him to show up. Alright, combine. Would have told you, but no, that's fair. You got a funny reaction out of me. That's complete. You are so valid for letting me have that reaction. Thank you. Alright. Well, with that done, yeah, I'm gonna probably leave it there. Let me just get to the save room. Always a pleasure. Yep. Yeah, sorry to kind of stop a bit shy on this. I know I wanted to get done on the embryo boss fight, the one with the reporter that bursts out of the reporter chest burster style, but genuinely, I've had a tiring week, and just kind of general kind of migraines that kind of come on and off. So I am just gonna take the rest of the night and chill the fuck out because I at least have the weekend ahead of me and it's a holiday weekend and I'm gonna be getting to have pizza with my family, so that'll be nice. I'll have pizza with my family tomorrow and I'll be coming in next week nice and rejuvenated. Oh, go for about 5 more minutes. The cutscene is so much cooler. We'll get to see it when I'm nice and refreshed next week. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I will see it next week. I promise. This game will still be here. I'll still be here. I'm just tired right now and as I said, headachy, so I'm gonna take some time to finish it off here. But yeah, we will see that cutscene and we will continue into the boss fight. But yeah, for VOD watchers, thanks for stopping by. If you want to see when I am live next, be sure to check me out over on Twitch at 7 p.m. CST on Tuesdays through Thursdays. And follow my Blue Sky. That's usually where I announce when I go live, as well as my YouTube channel. That's where if you're seeing this on YouTube, I notify you all on here when I'm going live as well on the posts. So check out both if you want to see when I'm live next. So yeah, VOD watchers, have a good one. Stay hydrated, keep your postures checked, and I'll see you next time.